So, my phone died. Forgive me, people. This is my first video for YouTube, so I'm going to be learning on the job. I am not a professional by any means. So what I've done is I've removed the binding wire, obviously. I just filed a little bit of the wire that was left, and then I formed it on the mandrel. And because the metal is so thick, and this is such a chunky ring, that was a lot of very, 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 watch your ears, powerful type banging. If you do it down like this, the ring will take the shape of the mandrel. To remove the ring, just tap it from the other side, turn it round, and repeat. Most rings you don't have to whack that hard. You have to look down the mandrel to see where the ups and therefore the hollows are. Okay. And then again, once again, to remove. At this stage, you don't really need to worry about bashing it around so much because it's such a thick piece of metal and we've had to bash it around to get it into shape. It's very, very, very marred on the outside, you can see there. So we're going to be filing this piece of weaponry, that's what it looks like, extremely well. It would make a really nice male ring. I'm actually making it for me because I love thick rings, and I'm going to flush set stones in it because we have enough depth for the stones to be sat in the metal but not protrude out through, which is what you don't want, because then when you put your fingers in, you can, if they're not set in me well, pop out. So, which of course they do have to be set amazingly well because they're pieces of jewellery that are worn every day. That is the skill of a setter. So now what I'm going to do, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the inside of that. I don't think I need to whack that anymore. Yeah, so we're going to file. When you first start filing, I wouldn't start with a file this aggressive, because this is an extremely aggressive file. It's called a bastard file, probably for obvious reasons. Because if this thing catches you, you're going to want to call it a bastard. I don't know the etiology of name, if that's the right word. And what you're trying to do is you're cutting on the upstroke. Well, I'm using it like that. So you have to brace the piece of work at the correct angle. This peg is still loose, so let's tighten up a bit more. Better. There's that goes. And while I see it, I'm just going to remove binding wire. Right. So we've already got most of these scratches out. You want to pass the file over the entire ring profile. So the file is an extension of your arm. You want to keep it as straight as possible, as mechanical and as machine-like as possible. Kind of have to do it at an angle because it's just the direction when it's on the peg. But you're keeping this as flat as possible to make as even a contact as possible with the ring shank. I'm not talking because this is hard work. Satisfying to watch. It's a lot of force. The other thing you have to watch for is when you're filing, you need to keep on checking that you're not creating an uneven thickness because you're removing a lot of metal. So you constantly have to look, where is this going? Is anything else messing up at the same time? So I'm rolling the file around the room. Okay, it's looking good. Now I'm going to go in to remove what's visible of that solder seam on the inside with a rough ring file. So this has a rounded profile and a flat face. This is also a ring file. Semicircular, I don't know what you call that. It's not jewellery. So what I'm going to do is put this light down a bit closer to me so I can see what I'm doing a bit better. The side profile. And you just take your time. When you're filing, what you're doing is obviously you're removing scratches, but with each, so once I finish with this file, I will go to okay, well I can't find the next file that I'll go to, but I will when I get to use it. I'll go to a number 1, a number 2, and then a number 3. And when you're filing, what you're doing is you're progressively moving the scratches left by the previous file. So the bastard file has very wide apart teeth in comparison to the very fine file. It's much closer and will leave a much smoother finish. And then you go to emery paper. The finish of jewellery is really important. That's what makes the difference between a professional and an amateur. An amateur you'll see lumps on the surface of their silver when they take their pictures of their finished pieces because they haven't abrased the surface of the metal evenly. They've used a little tool like one of these and it's created divots and lumps that they were not able to see, but they're there and it's shown up by the camera. So this part of your work is what makes you a pro. So that's the bastard file. I'm going to carry on filing on my own progressively through the files, and I will come back to you when I've finished filing and we will start emery. Okay.